millions of women across the world go through, but it's made even harder because the majority of people don't understand it, are not aware of it, cannot identify the signs of it, and so they treat it sometimes in the worst possible way. Especially in places like Nigeria, where we're very superstitious people, they end up trying to solve a mental health issue by going to different places that are totally unnecessary. I think that Out in the Darkness is a story that needed to be told, and when I got the call to be a part of it, I read the script. I totally fell in love with the characters. I totally fell in love with the story, and it was an absolute honor to be part of creating this beautiful piece. And I think everybody out here, women especially, should go watch it, and then they should make sure that they drag as many people as possible so that we can all create an environment where women who go through such issues, like women who go through postpartum depression.
Because here we are at the movie premiere, Out in the Darkness, a movie where you have Jide Kosoko, talk about Jide Kosoko, talk about so many actors and actresses that I can think of, interesting ones, so to say, yes. And this movie is a movie that is talking about trauma in women, mental health, to think of that. So it's a movie that you should, of course, look out for there on July 4th. Look out for this movie in your cinemas and go watch it. It's an interesting movie. So here we are at, of course, the movie premiere, Out in the Darkness. And then it appears that you are, of course, one of the cast in the movie. Tell us in brief what this movie is like.
The movie is about like a woman who has suffered postpartum depression, and how life with people who are suffering this ailment can be like. Basically, that's what the movie is about.
Out in the Darkness is a must watch, even though you don't have someone in your life that's going through what that character was going through, you never can tell. You might learn a thing or two from this movie to know how to help a stranger or somebody, and it's just like to create an awareness to PTSD. People go through stuff, depression, post-traumatic stress after having a kid. It's real. I know someone who actually went through that kind of thing, and it was not nice to see, And if not that, there's different stages of depression out there. People are really going through stuff and they're smiling, and they just need that care and support. So it's a must-watch movie. You need to tell somebody to tell somebody. You need to come and actually it's not just to see, to have the experience of this movie. You need to experience it, and for you to actually know that if you are fine, you wake up every morning, you are mentally insane, you have a lot. You're wealthy, trust me. Being rich and having money is not everything.
So tell us what it feels like to be in the Nollywood industry.
It feels okay. I don't know how it's supposed to feel, but it feels good to me and I feel okay, I guess.
At your younger age now, what is that inspiration that you're getting, and what do you think might discourage you?
There's nothing to discourage me. I don't see anything discouraging me until I finished and I'm my Baba God. My inspiration daily is my mom, and I'm so grateful for her.
What is the interesting thing that I can say you experienced in the Nollywood industry?
The most interesting thing is being recognized globally and being awarded for all my, success, and being, recognized basically for all my hard work. Yeah.
All right. So what's the future for you now in the Nollywood?
To go farther and farther, and I'm not staying in Nollywood. I'm going to strive harder for out of Nollywood and in Hollywood, Bollywood, Jollywood, any wood, as long as it requires acting.
So, first of all, tell us what inspired you to be here this evening.
It's a film premiere that has my guys in it. So, anyway, there's a film going on. I'm interested in seeing what's going on in Hollywood. Yeah, absolutely. And from the ensemble of casts, it looks like a fantastic one. So, yeah, absolutely.
So, in the Nollywood industry, what do you think should be scrapped of that is being, obsolete in the Nollywood industry now, that you think this thing should just be off? There's a need for improvement.
Better pay.
Better pay.
Yeah.
And what do you, since you've just mentioned, that means that there are implications to me and there are consequences for people being underpaid.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, your mental health is one of them. Trying to survive in the industry is another one. Creativity is another one. So yeah, absolutely. With more money, I believe that in the right hands, we're going to do better.
I think I saw somebody like me who liked very heavy story. I liked a filmmaker that understands her voice, and I think that I could see that clearly in Sarah's film. This is her debut film, my first time director, writer, producer, and dealing with such a heavy matter. I'm really, really encouraged, and I'm just here to support her. Out in the Darkness is such a powerful film that shines spotlight on the issues of PTS, postpartum depression, and mental disorder. And it is something that we don't talk about enough, and it's important that we shine a light. And I'm so happy that she's doing this. And I'm hoping that people come up on the 4th of July to support Sarah.
Okay, so let's know who we have here.
I'm Caleb.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm a model, fashion model, commercial model, content creator, an aspiring actor, and I'm the current Southern King for Mr. Ideal Nigeria 2025.
All right, so tell us what inspired you to be here this evening. Who, what?
For me, I was told to come to show my face. My agency told me to come show my face for the movie premiere. But this is a chance for me to meet my superiors, get to learn from them, get to connect with them, get ideas on where to put and what not to do, and so on.
Alright, someone says, is this a prank? It is a prank. You watch the full movie from July 4th in all cinemas across the nation, 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, if you will, one more time, a round of applause for the writer, producer, and director. This is a conversation that should be and must be had, right? And very quickly, I did say that we'll have just a little conversation about the theme of the movie, postpartum depression. Can you help us understand what exactly postpartum psychosis is and how it differs from postpartum depression or baby blues?
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Ayo Ayemi. And postpartum psychosis, I'll say, is a complete break from reality. So it's a medical emergency. Most people who are psychotic wouldn't know they are psychotic. And that's why events of movies or things like this are critically important. It's important that somebody can see that somebody is psychotic and get them help. It differs because they have the thoughts in their head is what we call ego symptomic. They kind of believe it to be true, as opposed to things like OCD or when you have an intrusive thought that scares the hell out of you. So those intrusive thoughts, you know they are not you. You're worried, you're thinking them, but you can't stop thinking them. Depression basically is, can look like crying, which we saw that a lot. Apathy, things you really used to enjoy, you don't enjoy doing them anymore. Eating too much or too little, sleeping too much or too little, just, that break from who you really are normally. But psychosis is, as I said, complete breakdown of grandiose ideas. You can start thinking your baby's eyes are glowing red. If that was an intrusive thought, you'd be scared. If it's psychosis, you will really believe it. That so grandiose ideas, thoughts that you really believe, complete breakdown from reality, seeing things people are not seeing, smelling things that is not there. No one else is smelling it, no one else is hearing it. That's what psychosis may look like.
All right, thank you very much. Seems serious. I would direct this question to the gynecologist here, if you will, sir. Are there specific situations or health conditions during pregnancy that increase the risk of postpartum psychosis?
Well, basically, changing hormonal system after delivery has been identified as a major factor. But notwithstanding, they have realized that some situations prior to or during pregnancy could also be a factor. That's why you see most of these women that maybe during pregnancy the man refused to accept the pregnancy and she's all alone, her parents are scolding her, everybody. She already got depressed even before delivery. So those could aggravate the situation. But notwithstanding, we still see it common among those that we cannot even see such history or such history. But to be honest with you, this situation is commoner than we think. Most times, just like I saw in that film, misdiagnosis or not diagnosed at all, very common. The commonest is the puerperal blues. That's almost 40-50%. But the good thing about it is it wears us within few days or within 1 week. So before it is actually becomes an issue, it has disappeared. But unlike psychosis, postpartum depression and all that, that could drag on for some time and could be even worse than what you see, without mentioning him. There is a teaching hospital in Nigeria that some years back, the woman developed this postpartum psychosis and it was not even identified. Suddenly, she jumped from the 4th floor and passed on. When you get to that teaching hospital now, you see that they make wire mesh to cover all the postpartum ward. Right? It's on the 4th floor. They will not mention the hospital. We all know the place. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that little clarity on that. And families and community play in supporting a mother dealing with postpartum psychosis.
First off, I just want to say that it's a difficult thing to look in the face, and a lot of people in our society today don't believe it exists. I think the more technology, the more we want to tell ourselves it's not true. But if you've been there, you understand how very easy it is to sleep. It grows on you, actually. While pregnant, I think, doctor, I know that's possible. But you don't know it's there. And certain factors that surround you as a pregnant mother before birthing could determine these things. And so I think families have to be very observant. Support system is very necessary. I had my family, and that was, I think that was my saving grace. And people don't believe that they can linger for as long as 4 years, 5 years, if not diagnosed. And a lot of doctors are not ready to diagnose, not because they don't know, but the fact is, I think families go to the wrong doctors, and I think that's what happens. So people need to talk about it some more. Families need to be there for people like this.
Thank you very much. Of course, we can never underplay the role of family in situations like this. I'll ask one more round of questions, and this to the mental health advocates, and it would revolve around access to help. What mental health resources or organizations are available in Nigeria or Africa for women facing these challenges?
Yeah, when she mentioned doctors don't want to diagnose, I think one of the issues that our OBs have is because we also advocate for screening. Because in Nigeria, you can be pregnant 5 times. The entire perinatal and the antenatal care and postpartum care does not involve anyone checking you. There is no screening whatsoever. And so we're advocating, can we screen moms? Can we screen moms? And doctors are obesity. Okay, so if I screen this mom now and she's depressed, where do I send her to? And moms will say, therapy is not affordable. I think that there are many resources in Nigeria. Maybe we're all just doing a poor job of putting ourselves out there. Perhaps we need to do better. There's Postpartum Support Network Africa, doing an amazing job, run by Kachi. He's out of the country now, but still, there's a lot of work going on. There's even advocacy that was founded by me, and we do support groups, and we also have a helpline that we are working very hard to make noise about. There is Institute of Counseling, I think, Dr. Tolu, I can't remember, Okoye, yes, that's her surname. There's Postpartum Foundation, there's Mom Confessions, Tinuke. She does therapies for moms. I think there are many resources, and we just need to do a better job of maybe talking about it. And there is also Postpartum Support International that have They have tons and tons and tons of support groups. And you can join from anywhere in the world because it's virtual, but that is it's not very African still. You may feel a little out of place, but it still supports. The helpline can be accessed globally, and these are all free resources. Our own helpline as well is free. Our support groups are free, and yeah, so those are some of the resources that comes off the top of my head.
Thank you very much. And really, anyone can answer this question right now. And after a woman experiences postpartum psychosis once, is she likely to have it again in future pregnancies? How should she prepare? Anyone can answer.
Thank you. Yes, we've seen it commoner with those that had it in previous pregnancies. So that's why, you see, when a pregnant woman comes to register, those are some of the detailed history we need to take. How does her pregnancy, past pregnancy, you take the details of the pregnancy, events around the delivery, after delivery, till postnatal clinic. In fact, during postnatal clinic, it's part of the things we also check for. Oh, is the baby pregnant? You saw very well, you have one-on-one with the mother. In good centers and good clients, you even need to interact with the husband or part of those that are supporting at home. If someone then just say, doctor, the reason why we follow her is she doesn't have time breastfeeding this baby. She will just isolate herself and started crying and crying. And we have been asking questions. She's not talking to us. That's the signal. Oh, she breastfeeds occasionally, but what we notice is she hardly sleeps. Oh, she avoids food, and at times she feels dizzy. I remember a client sometimes. After breastfeeding, she had been refusing food. You know, some of these symptoms are not straight jacket. It varies from individual to individual. This lady doesn't eat, she doesn't eat at all, but she doesn't mind breastfeeding the baby. At times, the baby will suck and sleep up, and one day she just collapsed, and they quickly rushed her, and when they picked her phone, the number they saw that my doctor, they called. Said, where is she? They described as, okay, I entered the car, let me quickly see. And I told them, whoever is there, please just get a bottle of Coke for her, let her drink. And by the time we checked, it was just the blood sugar that went down because she breastfeed for some hours without eating herself. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Because of time, it's not a conversation that we can exhaust, in the panel session after a movie premiere. Don't forget, it will be in the cinemas from July 4th this very year. Just before.
Just like I said, I'm much more than the pregnant person. I was telling my friend this evening, I said, indulge the woman the best you can. I know some women who want to take that overboard, and then and then you ask for cockroaches or stuff like this, but better care and encourage people to speak up and talk.
All right, thank you very much. I'm afraid we'll not take more than this at this time. I think the subject matter is a click away from on the internet, and you can also get to doctors and professionals to seek clarity and more help. Ladies and gentlemen, if you will, another round of applause for our professionals as we get back to very much. Thank you very much. All right, and then a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.
What do you feel about the movie House in the Darkness?
I feel it's a movie that every woman, man, everybody needs to see, actually, because it shines a light on what women go through and what the outside world or other people, do not know that they're going through, because postpartum depression is very, very real, and everybody should see it so that you know the warning signs when you see it, and then you're better able to help the victim. It's a beautiful movie. It is.
Oh my goodness, it's amazing. It's an amazing movie, and I'm so proud of them all. I'm so proud of Sarah. It's an amazing movie. It's like women So how do I start this? Let me say, every woman needs to watch this movie. You know, sometimes we'll be like, oh, it can't happen to me. You never can tell. Nobody. Anything can happen. But if you watch this movie, it will enlighten you on what to do in a situation like this. So I would say thank you to all the crew and cast and everyone.
So you need to value what you have. I know a lot is going on in the country right now, but if you're sane, you're healthy, then you can work hard, then you can see tomorrow, then you can find food. People are wealthy and they're going through stuff and they don't even want to leave anymore. And we just need someone like you to put a smile on your face, you know. So you need to see Out in the Darkness. You have to see this movie, please. I'm going to be coming to watch it with you guys interested. You need to see the movie. You have to see it, please.
All right, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Out in the Darkness, very amazing movie, so real. Like I could feel every moment. I could feel her pain, and I just wish that people are paying more attention to, you know, mothers, especially those who have just given birth. They deal with a lot, and sometimes we overlook those things because we're not familiar with these conditions, these mental illnesses. But they're indeed a thing, and people need to just pay more attention to them. And also encourage mothers to speak up when you're feeling anything. Forget about the stigma. Just pay attention to yourself. Try to get better. Seek help. Speak about your feelings. In the movie, the lady wasn't talking. She wasn't saying what she was going through. Yeah, so we need more people to be able to speak up when these kind of things happen.
Okay, it's a very beautiful movie, and I think a lot of couples should watch it because it tells that the husband should really take care of the wife because postpartum depression is really real. You know, it's taught a lot of lesson. You know, you just don't, a lot of husbands are like, oh, she's just been cranky, I don't know what's wrong with her. They should pay more attention to you know.
I think that the movie showcased the day-to-day of what perinatal mental health disorders look like. They don't really feel like symptoms, they feel like you. And if you notice in the movie, the lady was talking to herself, kind of. She was seeing herself, appearing to her and tormenting her. So I think it's kind of did a very good job of showing what the day-to-day, the nitty-gritty, the trenches. I think it did a good job of showing what it looks like. Apart from what we read, what we hear, it did a good job of just showing that day-to-day reality. Yes.
So why proud? You know, seeing your hard work come to life is one thing, but seeing people receive it the way they receive it and the reactions to it, amazing.
So what is the motivation that you're getting from this now? What is the motivation that you're getting now?
The motivation I'm getting from this is to do more. You know, there's a crave, there's a yearn for this kind of story where not necessarily, it's not like I want to talk about sad, emotional stories, but, you know, creating awareness for topics that are not often talked about. There's a yearn for it. So, yes, to do more.
All right, before the camera, we were actually talking on something, and I would like to find your thoughts on this. What actually inspired you in terms of this story? Was it a personal story or just a thought?
Definitely not a personal story because I don't have a kid. I've never been through that, but I do have and know people around me that have experienced postpartum not psychosis, but I've experienced some form of maternal mental health at some point. And that kind of piqued my interest to want to research more on it. And I did, and I realized that this is a story that I want to talk about. This is a story that I want to tell, and yeah, we are here.